Hello and welcome to this week's class. I'm so excited to be teaching you how to create these funny little birds here. We'll be exploring character design and just exploring and pushing the limits of our creativity, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so I hope that you enjoy it. So for today's class, you'll need a sheet of paper. You'll need some colors to work with. I'm using colored pencils. You'll need two colors for your birds, so I chose a pink and a teal, and then you'll need an orange and a black. You'll also need to print out the worksheet that I've included for this class, and it just has a couple helpful tips and inspiration in case you get stuck along the way. So to get started, I'm going to choose a couple of bodies off my worksheet, and I'm going to draw those onto my paper. I'm going to do 4 to start out with. So I'm going to do a long skinny guy here. Set these aside. We'll do this one. He kind of looks like a gourd, like a squash. And then I think I want a little circular guy. And then maybe a triangle guy. So once you have your shapes in place for your birds, the next thing we're going to do is add bellies to them. So they're going to be little colored half moon sections here. And I'm going to use the opposite color of their body to define their bellies. So on this guy, he's going to have a tall belly that's rounded on the top, because I think that that's going to accent his features and play into the silliness of his proportions, and that's a lot of fun. On this one, we'll do something that mimics the shape of his body, so it's a little more blob-like. On this guy, we'll do like a half circle here. And on this one, will be just a little dome there. So you can get creative with these. I do find that they look best if they're a little bit rounded, and they should always connect to the bottom of the body. So at this point, we're going to take a few minutes and color in each of our sections with the corresponding color. So you can do that now. So now that we have our bodies colored in, we're going to start thinking about adding other features to our birds that are going to bring out their personality and individual style. So the first thing we're going to add is our wings. And I've included a few examples on my worksheet of wing shapes that I tend to like, but feel free to experiment and try things on your own as you go through, because maybe your birds need different wings. And I'm going to try and make all mine a little bit different. They're already very different from their body shapes, and I'm just going to keep trying to build on that. So I'll start with this guy, and I kind of like, he's so rounded. I'm going to do these little pointy wings for him. I think that that's going to add just a nice bit of contrast. And so I'm just going to draw his wings in the same color as his body. So I've just outlined that, and then I'm going to fill in the areas that aren't colored. And you can see that's already added a ton of personality to him. So on this guy, he's so tall and slender. We're going to do the same thing with his wings. I'm going to make them these long U shapes. I like that. Now I'm going to switch to my other color for these guys because I'm still matching their bodies. Now I'm going to give this guy these cute little W-shaped wings. There we go. And then I'll fill those in to match his body. And that's so cute. And then this guy. I've used all the other ones on my sheet, so I'll go ahead and give him these little nubby wings because I just think that'll be so funny to have this big old bird here with some itty bitty wings. And sometimes it's fun to play with things like that. If he's a big bird with tiny wings or a tiny bird with big old beak, you can have a lot of fun with things like that, and that gives them a very unique style. So it's something to think about as you're creating your characters. So now we've given them bodies, bellies, and wings. We'll add beaks next. So again, you can reference this worksheet if you're looking for beak designs. I have these first three are for birds that are facing towards you, but if you end up with some birds that are facing sideways, then feel free to use these designs to give them that extra depth. And you can build all of these with triangle shapes, so they're fairly easy. So on this guy, I think I'll give him this diamond shaped beak. So I'm just going to place it up here, draw out my diamond, and fill it in. Now you might have to press hard if you're trying to cover up your other color, but it should go down pretty easy. On this guy, how about we give him a big fat beak, a really wide one. So it's just this upside down triangle, and that suits him perfectly. On this guy, how about we give him just a teeny tiny triangle? Because he's a small bird, he only needs a small beak. And on this guy, I'm going to keep on doing those long and skinny features on him. So we'll give him a really long skinny beak, almost like a hummingbird. So our next step, I'm going to choose my black colored pencil, and we're going to outline our birds to give them a little bit more contrast so that you can see where their wings are and where their beaks are a little bit better. So I'll show you. On this guy, I'm just taking my black colored pencil and I'm just outlining all those areas around his body. There you are. And I'm going to do that on all of my little birds. So make sure that you come down off the top and go into your wings. And then you come around the bottom with the rest of it. All right. So once you have your bodies outlined, we're going to add a few details to our beaks that's going to make them stand out a little bit more. So if you've done a diamond beak like this guy, you're going to want to do just a little V going from this corner to that corner, just to define it a little bit. And then I'm going to outline that diamond. And then you can really see where it is. On this guy, I'm going to outline his beak. And then I'm going to give him some nostrils. So maybe some little dots there. On this one, I'll just outline his nose. I don't think he needs nostrils because his beak is so tiny. And we'll do the same on this guy. I'll add him in some long and skinny nostrils there. I hope you're loving how your birds are turning out. I think these are so cute already, and we still have a few more features to add. So next up we'll do eyes. You can find a few examples of those on your worksheet. And at this point, you should really have an idea of, what these birds' personalities are. Is one silly? Is one sleepy? Is one grumpy? And the eyes tell a lot of expression, so you'll want to choose eyes that you feel like suit their personality. Like this guy, to me he looks a little bit lazy, maybe he's taking a nap. I'm going to do these U's here, these little U-shaped eyes. And that makes him look like he's sleeping. On this guy, we'll give him maybe some skinny eyes. That's pretty cute. On this one, we'll just do some little circles, just nice and simple. I like his small features. Like I said, he's a little small bird. And then on this guy, we'll do his upside down U eyes. I like these. They feel happy, they feel excited. So you can see I've given them all different shaped eyes, and they all kind of have a different personality to them, which is so much fun, and you can really play that up when you're creating characters. And then we're going to add legs to our birds. And again, there's a few options on your worksheet, but play around with those however you want. If this guy is taking a nap, like I've created him, he's not going to be standing up, so I'm just going to have his little feet resting beneath him here. That way he can sit and nap all he wants. This guy, I'm going to have his legs come down here as two little lines and then kick them out on either side. This guy, will give him some cute little legs with 3 toes. And then this guy, maybe we'll do some funny legs on him. So these are all the basic features of your birds, but there's still more you can add to give them extra personality. Like this guy, I can add some Z's to him, like he's snoring. Maybe I feel like on this guy we might see a little bit of his tail behind him. So you can add in just a little bit of his tail there. Go back and outline it. Maybe you give this guy some spiky feathers on top of his head. Crazy little hairdo. And then I'm going to give this guy a tail too. And his tail's going to come out behind him. Right there. So with the shapes that I've given you and shown you in today's class, that's a great starting point. But you can do this class more than once, and you'll always end up with something a little bit different, which is so much fun. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've created some very cute characters, and I can't wait to see what you've made. See you next week.